Welcome to the latest episode of the Opening Doors podcast, where I'm out and about, meeting customers, discussing their journey with Regal Ed, a bit more about how they see the market, and developments in their businesses. Today, for this episode, I am really pleased to have with me Tony Craggs from Portico Doors. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks for having us, Guy.
Well, I know you, Tony. I've known you for a long time.
Yep.
I'm sure there's listeners or watchers who don't know who you are, Tony. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and the how we get to where we are, so Portico Doors?
Yeah, so for me, I came into the industry straight from school, basically. So I did GCSEs, did my A-levels. Then I was at a little bit of a crossroads. Do I go to university? Do I go straight to work? Many people, or some people anyway, were Craggs, who had a window and door company, Window Bureau, WB Group. So he was relatively keen for me to do university, but being 18-year-old, seeing an opportunity of earning some money, I thought I'd go and work for my dad, earn loads of money straight away. So decided against the whole university thing and went to work. Obviously, it was nothing like that. Started out, what would it have been, 2002, 2003, something like that, when I first started, and definitely served me time, in the factory, kind of office work, processing, the finance side, the invoicing, spent some time out on the road, selling, getting involved in the marketing. So, kind of learned all aspects of the business. And at the time, you hated it, you felt you wanted to be in management and all that kind of stuff. But looking back now, it was probably the best thing I did. Learned the business inside out. And
knowing your dad, anyone who knows him, I'd imagine he's a reasonably hard taskmaster and he knows what he wants.
That's a very political way of putting it.
He's not going to give you an easy ride just because you're his son.
Absolutely not. It was totally the opposite. Felt like a little bit, I don't know if hard done by is the right way, but you wanted to make it clear that I wasn't getting an easy passage in the business. And I'd like to think and hope that anyone who's worked with us over the years will have seen. You know what I mean? Fair enough. I've running Portico and stuff now, but I've served my time, learned everything about the industry, and it served as well.
So, it was WB Group.
Yeah.
I think it's now Portico. In between, it was. People know it was you had your time. It was Virtuoso Doors, didn't it?
That's right. So the very start, WB Group, like I said, was a great company that my dad created from nothing. It was back in the early days. He was a general builder. My dad, general builder. Ended up doing a lot of windows and doors. Struggled for supply, quality, that kind of thing. So for him, it was a case of I can do this better myself. So I believe again, you'd have to get him on a podcast, which you won't do, by the way, but if you want more detail, but I believe, kind of in the 80s, he started fabricating, nice. PVC windows and doors from
white gold era as well.
Absolutely 100%. So he got into that, and then, kind of grew the business. Then he diversified into PVC panels. He was a big purchaser of door panels. And I think it's similar for other people who've, kind of been in the window and door industry. Sometimes it's best to bring it in-house. So he decided to do that, which was a big success. So grew the door panel kind of department throughout the 90s, going into the early 2000s. And then we all seen an opportunity in composite doors. It was the next thing coming. It was still relatively early. There was a few people who were kind of marketing out there, getting it out into there, but we seen it as a definite future opportunity and decided to invest in that. And that'll have been 2007, 2008, I think it would have been.
It's about the same time that we moved into supplying glass for the composite door market. We'd been very heavily involved with WB Group as a customer. Big decorative glass shop at the time. Did a lot of decorative glass.
A lot.
And I think 2006 was when we first dipped our toe into the water of going, composite doors are here. And 20-something years of it now.
I think it timed that pretty well, to be fair.
I think we all done very well out of the composite door market.
Yeah, so we got into it, but again, then financial crash, wasn't it?
Yes.
2008, 2007, 2008, going through that difficult time. But again, kind of rode through that. Composite doors helped grow. Window division was doing well. Door panel was still doing well. We came out the other end of that, really strong. 2012, 13, 14, continued to grow. And then it got to a little bit of a crossroads, I suppose, with WB Group. My dad made his MD in 2013, I think it was. Right. So I was, relatively young at the time. And the company continued to grow, very successful, very profitable. And let's just say we had a difference of opinion, me and my dad. It was, what does the next 3, 5, 10 years look like? I'm a pretty ambitious person, driven person. And then ultimately it got to the point in 2016 where it was a case of my dad's built a great business, very successful. You should sell it. Should go to market and, he should, reap the rewards of what he's built. So I kind of did that, went out to market, got some feeders, with various contacts I've got in the industry. And then that's when we ended up getting acquired in October of 2016 by King Cone Capital, which formed the Polyframe Group, soon after. So we kind of got bought and integrated within that group, which had just formed. My dad did 9 months, I think it was, kind of handover, and then he left the business after that. And yeah, there's a lot of change after that point, let's just say.
And then, obviously, there's a demise of that business. I think you'd left the business before, became Virtuoso Doors, unfortunately closed. You'd been gone.
No, well, I was still there because there was twice.
Twice, of course. Yes, of course. There's a COVID.
There was COVID
failure, and then it was.
And then was sadly the recent one, not too long ago. So I was there. Again, it was such a strange time. When we got acquired in 2016, the business went through huge growth. Virtuoso become one of the market leaders.
Yes.
Big company, well respected, well known, very profitable, very successful. But unfortunately, with the wider group, it ultimately the group collapsed.
And you moved to that incredible factory. It was fantastic. But then you moved on from those days. You've now back with Portico Doors as a fresh startup. 3 years now, I think, since you started.
It'll be 3 years in October.
Wow. It's been October 2022.
Correct.
So the market was. There's been a lot of change in this market over the last 3 years. Probably not the easiest time to be starting a business.
No, I would say not. I know there's a lot of volatility and difficulty in the market right now. Luckily for us, we've had a clear plan, what we wanted to do. With history, we had a lot of contacts, we had great support from suppliers. As a new company, one of the most important things is, people backing you. So, the likes of yourselves, Vika, Dorco, Asa Abloy, ERA, many more as well, kind of really give us that support from day one. They bought into the plan, they bought into the project, and that gave us the footing to be able to build Portico to what is already, one of the market leading composite door fabricators in the UK.
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey. We've seen it. We were involved with you right from the beginning of this business. We spoke to you before you'd opened the doors, and we partnered with you quite a lot of the glass products and the paint products.
Correct.
Do you see those as the decorative glass and the colour? Is that still a real key driver in differentiating the products?
Without a doubt, it's one of the key USPs that I know a lot of our competitors kind of have similar offerings, but the USP of having in-house paint shop, that flexibility, that complete offering of colour, any RAL colour combinations. I don't know if you want a pink outside, purple inside, all these weird and wonderful things that people do. We can facilitate that here at Portico. And same with the glass. Kind of when you're creating the brochure, you really want that although we don't deal obviously direct with the consumer, but we want to provide that attractive marketing support for our trade customer to be able to make that sale. Having the right glass options that suits current trends. Because these things, as you know better than anyone, they change and evolve at times, and you've got to make sure you've got the most up to date, attractive offering that you can.
Isn't it interesting that you brought colour right from the beginning in-house? It's not, a lot of people start of a composite door business and they go, I'll buy in painted slabs. You from day one thought it was an important part of the business.
Day one, and obviously, setting up Portico, it cost a lot of money, and our biggest one-off investment, our biggest capital expenditure at the very start was our shoebox.
Wow.
And it was a significant amount of money. But we knew how critical colour was, going back to the when we were virtuoso, kind of having that in-house paint facility and stuff like that. For me, we had to have it. We couldn't go and get market share and compete to get, work without having that ability to be able to paint in-house. And I still think that's just as important today. And I see no change to that going forward neither.
Well, before we started the podcast today, I got a chance to have a look around the factory, and I have to say it is the cleanest and tidiest spray setup I think I've ever seen in this industry. So it's 3 years old now. It looks like it's just been installed. It
is, and that's nothing to do with me, by the way. That's a great people out there. You've got Mark Tyndall, who runs the operation. Mark's knows this inside out, and the guys who run it. Chris in the paint shop and the team, and that's throughout the factory. It's not just the paint shop. It's so important that your machinery is maintained, looked after. If you want to have a quality product, you've got to have that. Kind of that quality in the systems and machinery and what's not behind it, and that's so important to Portico doors.
Yeah, it's obvious when you go around the factory that quality is absolutely core of everything that you do. You can the cleanliness, the quality boards everywhere, and the commitment to the team. It's a good, strong team. How many people now on board?
That's a good question that I should know the answer to. but there's 40 odd of us now within the business. So yeah, so there's quite a few of us.
It's a significant business now. You got out there.
It is, and it's happened in a relatively short amount of time. Like you said, heading up to 3 years. When I built the business plan, it sounds very corporate, but when I did, we wanted to get to this point, but I didn't think we'd get to this point so quickly. So it has put challenges on the people and the infrastructure, kind of the amount of growth that we've had, to get to these levels so quickly.
And I think that those suppliers, you said, supported you at the beginning, who trusted you, trusted the plan, the vision, have been rewarded for it. We're grateful.
I certainly hope so, because all of us at Portico really appreciate that. There's a lot of people took a risk on Portico.
Yes.
New company. It's kind of no insurance. That kind of thing until you get some training going. But these people backed us, and now they've got the peace of mind, with the likes of insurances and getting the hopefully the rewards of the volume and work from us.
It's good, and it's interesting to see over the 3 years there's been a lot of development in the product. You've been to us several times asking for new glass designs. You're continuing to evolve that composite door market, aren't you? It's widen the range.
You've got to. I think if you're standing still, you're kind of going backwards. I think you've got to be coming to market with new styles. Obviously, I had this door here, new style from Doorco. That lovely piece of Riga glass, and there's lots of other examples in our offering. It's so important to be evolving the range. We introduced stable doors, French doors. Obviously, we've just launched Portico panels, which is another subject.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you look at the market, because composites are constantly evolving. It's a 25-year-old market, but you mentioned panels. Do you see that the market is changing in the styles of doors, the types of doors that are going to be sold in the future?
I do. For me, being brutally honest, not everyone wants to fit a composite door. There is other solutions on the market. People prefer alternative solutions. I still think composite door is going to be the absolute core of the market. Will continue to grow, but I do see some other products gaining some market share as well. I genuinely believe door panel will see a resurgence. it's still a huge market anyway. There's still some big players in the door panel market who are doing big numbers, but I genuinely believe there's going to be an increase in demand of door panels. And then there's other products as well. You know, there's people doing the engineered doors, which are lovely, aluminium, timber even. You know, there seems to be kind of, you know, more about timber being talked in the industry now. So for me, I think it's important to have a little bit of a diversified portfolio of product, not just relying on one, because ultimately Portico wants to be able to offer, you know, numerous door solutions.
Portico is a door. It's not composite door. Your Portico is any kind of door that's out there. So you were saying about the panel business, because you obviously had panel business back in your WB days.
Yeah.
We've seen what seems like a resurgence of panel coming back. Did you say you've just set up a new factory for it?
Yep. So again, it was never in the plan. With situations that kind of happened, we ended up acquiring a lot of assets for door panel because again, we did see an opportunity there. So we secured them assets January time. Obviously, then had to find a factory because we haven't got space here. We've grew so much into this building. And with the growth plans for Portico doors to continue, there wasn't the room here. So we're located in another factory in Washington, a few miles away. And that opened 4 weeks ago. So very early days, but it's been a very positive start. I've had, you know, great response from customers. That's existing Portico doors customers, plus customers who don't trade with us but interested in door panel. So early days, it's been very successful. We need more volume. We need to keep growing. But so far, so good.
And are the styles changing in the panel doors? Because it does seem a market a bit from the 80s and 90s. We did very well out of selling red and green film to make climbing roses. Well, I assume that's not core to new product range.
Bad news for you is there's no climbing roses in the range, so we won't be buying them LEDs and films. But no, we're still, you know, the trends have changed. We've launched a lot of modern style door panels, you know, that look like composite doors. We incorporate a lot of the composite door glass in them, you know, kind of making the glass sizes similar so you can universally use them across both product ranges. But, you know, saying that, you know, we still offer some traditional lead and films, lead and bevels.
Yes.
You know, one of the kind of most complex things we found is, you know, remembering how to make a glass unit. I know that sounds stuff, but we never thought we'd have to make a glass unit again. But we've obviously had to put a lead and bevel shop in.
Yes.
You know, the facility to be able to make units, you know, all of that stuff, which you took for granted when you were doing it every day. But then getting back into the swing of things and starting again, it's been pretty testing.
But I'm sure it'll be a success. I'm sure it'll be like Portico. And we do see the market coming back for panel. Yeah. We also see the market for the engineered doors. I think are looking good. So there's always little niches of the market are growing. But like you said, I think composites are still the absolute core because they still look good. The decorative glass in there, the colours in there, and they perform, don't they?
They do. And I can only say that continuing ultimately, you know, it's a great solution for, you know, for the entrance door market. It ticks all the boxes largely. So, you know, that's going to be our core offering, but we would like to potentially diversify into some other door solutions.
Yeah. I mean, when we talk about this sort of general market, it's been a tough few years, I think, out there since you started. How do you see it going forward?
It's been strange for us. Again, you know, I speak to suppliers every day, speak to customers every day. You get kind of mixed feelings out there about how the market is. For us, we've just seen constant growth. We haven't followed the trend of the industry. Obviously, we've been gaining market share, you know, throughout. So it's been difficult for us to judge what the market truly looks like because I don't feel that we're kind of in the same position as what a lot of established, let's say, manufacturers are in. You know, we see big opportunities going forward still. I think it is difficult out there right now, although we're not seeing that. I think it is. But I think if you just do what you do, your quality's right, your service is right, you can compete, then there's no reason why you cannot ride this out and, you know, once it does recover, because it will, it'll become stronger, it'll be more buoyant. You know, the best leading companies will come out stronger and ready to, you know, kind of prepare for the next stage of growth.
Okay, we've both been here around long enough. We've seen these dips in the market. You said 2008, 2009.
Yep.
You came out it better. We had the post-Brexit, there was big changes in the economy. Then COVID. It does seem to have been a lot of. It's been a series of, but every time we, like you, have come out as stronger businesses, which is a testament to how you're running your business, I suppose, Tony.
100%, and I just hope the general market doesn't go to the easy option, which is just drop prices, try and get market share through price. Obviously, this industry is notorious for it, but I think, you know, any manufacturers, installers, whatever it may be, you know, just stay strong, be proud of what you do, you know, kind of get value for what you do, and, you know, you will come out stronger.
Well, it's been great speaking to you, Tony. It's been an interesting 3 years.
Yes.
Hope you invite us back. We'll maybe do another podcast when you...
I'd rather not, but if you insist, I will.
Come on, it's been absolutely fantastic to have a look around the business today, catch up with you on what's happening, and thanks for sharing your journey, the growth of this business, and we wish you all the best going forward.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Guy.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks.